From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. We're seeing snow showers this morning in the Cascades, also in the Blue Mountains, and elevations above 1,500 feet. Snow level is going to stay pretty consistently at that level throughout today. This morning, the winds are gusting very strongly, specifically in the lower Columbia Basin and also in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, gusting between 15 to 30 miles per hour. You mix that in with some of these temperatures for this morning, and a lot of the data not showing up for this morning, but most of us in the 30s. And again, you factor in some of the wind gusts, and it feels very cold out there. Visibility is reduced up in the Cascades. That in part is due to some of the snow showers, and also it's due to some of the fog like we typically see up that way around this time of the year. Here's the bottom line for the forecast moving forward. Scattered showers for today, more tough pass travel. We'll have more to say about that coming up in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll have mountain and valley snow late Tuesday into Wednesday for the Kittitas Valley in particular, and more wet weather is looking likely later into this week. So we have a first alert weather day for today up in the Cascades as that dangerous pass travel continues. And so again, the snowy passes are going to be the biggest concern for today. But then Tuesday evening into Wednesday, we have another first alert weather day, this time for the Cascades and for the Kittitas Valley. Could see a couple inches of snow in the Kittitas Valley, more dangerous pass travel up in the Cascades. Also, the winds are going to be pretty blustery. So I'll show you where winter storm warnings and high wind watches are in place ahead of this storm system coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a man found shot to death over the weekend at the Uptown Shopping Center. What police know so far? Plus, it's the season of giving. We have how you can give back to those in need, and this is something that won't break the bank. Details on a local fundraiser is coming up. And still ahead, President Biden authorizing long-range U.S. weapons for Ukraine to use against Russia. What experts are saying about his decision. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Monday, November 18th. We're going to start this morning off in a follow-up. Now, this on a story of a 3-car crash on I-182 in Pasco. 3 people were sent to the hospital, and charges against 1 driver is pending. And the crash happened Friday on I-182 between the Road 68 and Broadmoor Boulevard exits. Authorities say a 51-year-old Yakima man driving a pickup truck was speeding when he slammed into the back of a Toyota Prius, which then hit another pickup. The Yakima man, the driver of the Prius, and a teen passenger in the other pickup were all taken to the hospital. Authorities say the Yakima driver is facing charges of negligent driving. In crime news this morning, police have identified a Richland man who was shot to death over the weekend. Authorities say 36-year-old Michael Perkins died after being shot several times in the alleyway of the Uptown Shopping Center Saturday. Officers with the Richland Police Department responded to the scene just after 4 a.m. and found the man. And authorities say witnesses reported Perkins got into a fight with another man, and the man pulled out a gun and shot him several times. Now, the investigation is ongoing. And the man who's accused of shooting at Yakima police officers while trying to get away in a stolen car has been identified. 24-year-old Andy Valencia was arrested on suspicion of assault, DUI, eluding, malicious mischief, taking a motor vehicle without permission, unlawful possession of a firearm, vehicular assault, and harassment. According to YPD, a patrol officer spotted a stolen car just before 11 a.m. near Yakima Avenue and began chasing the car. Cops say Valencia began shooting at a parked, uninvolved YPD patrol car on Yakima Avenue before crashing the car, and that was into another vehicle. The driver of that vehicle was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Turning to community event news now, there's a whole new kind of cuisine in the Tri-Cities. Afghan Kitchen held their grand opening this weekend. Now, Pasco City Council members, along with the mayor, helped introduce this new culinary venture to the area. The authentic Afghan cuisine will join the lineup of vendors at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen in the downtown area. The restaurant also serves halal, which refers to food allowed under Islamic law.
We came from Afghanistan in 2002, and we had no education before that, but you know, we went to school, and then here in America, you know how they say you gotta have that dream it's the country of dream. Yeah, her passion is food. So she wanted to bring our culture, in Tri-Cities. Now that since 2021, we've got a lot of Afghans, and we thought it would be a nice addition to just grow our community and, pass like our cultural stuff, to you guys.
The owner says kebabs and spiced rice dishes are all prepared with authentic ingredients and traditional techniques. She also says without the city of Pasco's help, this would not be a reality. Also in Pasco, Ziply Fiber says it's begun construction of a new ultra-high-speed 100% fiber optic network in the city. The network became available over the weekend to the first 2,500 addresses. Company officials say it will serve more than 4,500 homes and businesses when construction is complete in the coming weeks. Ziply says with this launch, Pasco has the fastest household internet speeds in the nation. Making a difference this Thanksgiving season, one local business is holding a sock drive. Vibe Salon of Kennewick is currently hosting the Socks for the Soul fundraiser, and this is the 9th year. They're hoping to collect 2,000 pairs of warm socks, which is one of the most requested items for those in need. So far, they have gathered about 1,250 pairs, and they hope they can reach their goal before Thanksgiving. The fundraiser is in honor of the business owner's late grandmother, who told us they taught them the true meaning of giving.
We do it in memory of my late grandmother. It's been about 4 years since she's been passed, but every year we gather socks, and we just know that it brings warmth and comfort to a lot of people. So we wanted to carry on the tradition.
One of the things that she liked to do is to give us socks. And she would say, there's nothing like a new pair of socks.
And the people that we choose to give these to really are in need, so it's important.
When all the socks are collected, they will be distributed to local organizations like the Union Gospel Mission, foster care families, and other places who help those in need. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, President Biden has authorized long-range U.S. weapons for Ukraine to use against Russia. But we have what experts are saying about his decision. First up, though, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
All right, so my job here is the food and beverage executive chef. I've been here 10 years. Started off here as an entry-level cook. I was given the opportunity to step into the executive chef role, which is the position that I'm in. I've been in that position for about 6 years now, almost. What I do here, I handle not so much the day-to-day operations, but everything that goes into the menu planning, the SOPs for all of the cooks, recipes, ensuring all the recipes are all the same, the consistency, the vision of the food and beverage department as far as the aesthetics, what is it going to look like, what does the food preparation look like. We have everything from catering, fast food, employee meals, which is a cafeteria style setting, and then obviously our bread and butter, what we do, a buffet here at Legends. What we like to do here is try to keep our team members happy, try to be versatile with them, try to be flexible, whatever needs that they may have. We try to accommodate. We do have childcare here on property, so if somebody needs to drop their kids off at childcare, that option's always there. You could come into our department with no experience at all, but we're gonna show you how to hold a knife, we're gonna show you how to cut vegetables, we're gonna show you how to cut meat, we're gonna show you how to use all the equipment. Is the comfort of knowing that I'm gonna have my consistent 40 hours a week. And that goes from everywhere from a dishwasher all the way up to my position. It's another benefit of working here at Legends. I like to think of it more as a career rather than a job.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Thank you so much.
What's new, what's now, and what's next? Plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Wake up with Apple Valley News Now.
On your side.
5 couples remain.
Who has what it takes to make it to the finale?
It's the semifinals on Dancing with the Stars.
Are you ready? 'Cause I'm coming to get you. Get you, get you. You are
The Dancing with the Stars semifinals live Tuesday.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have these winter storm warnings that are in place for the Cascades. That runs until 10 p.m. on Monday, and it looks like the National Weather Service in Pendleton has allowed the winter storm warning for the Blue Mountains to expire, but it's still in place for the Cascades until 10 p.m. this evening. And then there's a high wind watch that's in place for the foothills of the Blue Mountains and Moore and Umatilla counties. That runs from 4 p.m. tomorrow to 10 in the morning on Wednesday. The National Weather Service is suggesting that winds could gust up to 60 miles per hour times. We'll see if that pans out. Okay, now let's take a little whip around view of some of our passes. It's packed snow at Snoqualmie Pass. Chains are required here or all-wheel drive. And then for White Pass off of US Highway 12, we're also looking at packed snow. Traction tires required here. And then for some of our Blue Mountain passes, I-84 Cabbage Hill Black Ice, you got to carry chains. And then for Oregon 204 at Tollgate, it's packed snow. Chains are required if towing. That does not look like a very friendly sight out there for this morning. Here's your day planner for lower elevations. Temperatures this morning in the 30s and 40s, and then we'll just stay in the 40s for the rest of the day. We'll have scattered showers in between the mountain ranges, but definitely the best chance of rainfall and snowfall today is going to be in the foothills and of the mountains. So for today, seasonal highs in the 40s and 50s, winds mostly gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 30 miles per hour. That would mostly be out of the Yakima Valley. And then for tonight, overnight lows dropping way down into the 20s and 30s, and we could have some leftover snow showers, not just in the Cascades, but now starting to get into the Kittitas and Yakima valleys as well. Thankfully, winds calming down at this point, but I'll show you, I'll take a deeper dive into that snowfall potential, and I'll show you how much snow we're actually expecting over these next couple of days, including low elevation snow. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In national news this morning, experts are weighing in on President Joe Biden's decision to let Ukraine fire long-range U.S. weapons into Russia. Military experts say the move could help Ukraine retain vital territory, but some worry about Russia's potential response. One official says the Army tactical missile systems are primarily intended for use in the Kursk region for now. Allies hope Ukraine can hold on to it despite Moscow's deployment of about 50,000 troops there. That way, Ukraine can use it as a bargaining chip if peace talks occur. But in September, the U.S. and UK debated letting Ukraine fire conventional Western missiles into Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin responded by saying Moscow could use nuclear weapons if that happened. He also said if a nuclear power supported an assault in his country, he'd consider that nation a joint attacker. The U.S. and allies are trying to shore up supplies for Ukraine before President-elect Donald Trump takes office, and they think he'll be less supportive than Biden's been. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, there are many resources for veterans to utilize, and an expo was held locally where we learned about a program that helps veterans by teaching them how to play guitar. Riley Fitzgerald with that behind-the-scenes look after this.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Election night 2024.
Live election night.
As the votes were counted,
We've got some hot ones we are following for you right now.
one winner emerged. Apple Valley News Now.
Polls are closed, but there are people still in line.
Apple Valley News Now is on your side.
5 couples remain.
Who has what it takes to make it to the finale?
It's the semifinals on Dancing with the Stars.
Are you ready? Because I'm coming to get you. Get you, get you.
You are amazing.
The Dancing with the Stars semifinals live Tuesday.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
Hey, Luke, I am so excited to host the CMA Awards again.
Nashville, here we come.
Hang tight, honey, got a pocket full of money and I'm headed straight home to you.
Lady, what are you doing here?
I'm hosting the CMA Awards with y'all.
It looks like clear skies and a star-studded night. Saddle up for the CMA Awards from Nashville, only on Apple Valley News Now.
All right, boys. Y'all ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Move on over, Luke.
Okay, get. Oh.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Fly the Northwest with the ladies of WSU Crew, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track these snow showers in the Blue Mountains and in the Cascades and elevations above 1,500 feet. We'll show you what happens throughout the rest of today with Futurecast. Still more scattered showers, and it's mostly going to be in the foothills and in the mountains. Should be mostly dry for the valleys and for the basin. But come time for late this evening, that's when we could start to see some snow showers, not just for the Cascades, but also starting to trickle down into the valleys. And then by 8 tomorrow morning, yeah, we could even have a few snowflakes mixing down into the basin, also for the foothills. But then watch what happens into the evening. We get that next big blast of rain and snow. Snow levels at that point around 1,500 feet, but they will be raising up into the rest of Tuesday evening. So here are some of the water totals that we're expecting over the next 48 hours, subject to change. Up to an inch in the Cascades, up to half an inch, not just in the Blues, but also for the valleys. That would be quite significant. And then anywhere between a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch for the basin and for the foothills. Snow levels pretty consistently at 1,500 feet for today, dropping down to 500 feet for Tuesday morning, back up to 1,500 feet by the time we get the arrival of that next blast of rain and snow that I was just talking about. Here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. We're thinking US 2 and I-90, 12 to 18 inches. US 12, 24 to 30 inches. Ellensburg, 1 to 2 inches. I-82, 2 to 3 inches. The Yakima Valley, probably less than an inch. US 97, 6 to 12 inches. I-84, 3 to 4 inches. And Oregon 204, specifically at Tollgate, 8 to 12 inches. So pretty dangerous pass travel, specifically in the Cascades. We'll have a little bit more as we head into Wednesday. Not much more, though. You can see maybe a couple additional inches of snow for our passes in the Cascades. But then we're tracking more storm systems as we head into Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So this is just going to be the pattern that we're locked into for the next week. High temperatures staying mostly seasonal over this next week as well. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A flurry is possible for Tuesday morning. Then more cold rain is likely for Wednesday through Saturday. In Yakima, snowfall less than an inch is possible for tomorrow morning, but just rainfall for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. In Ellensburg, 1 to 2 inches of snow is possible over the next 48 hours, just rainfall for Wednesday and beyond. In Hermiston, maybe a flake or two for tomorrow morning, then a cold rain for the rest of the week. Then in Walla Walla, maybe some snow mixing in tomorrow morning, but more cold, wet weather is slated for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Josh. Now, in community event news this morning, we are looking at the Tri-Cities Veterans Resource Expo, and there are plenty of resources to receive and programs to get involved in. Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald learned about a new program called Guitars for Vets.
At the Columbia Basin Veterans Center's Vet Resource Expo, there is employment resources, housing, veterans organizations, educational, surplus items, veteran service officers, veteran benefits, haircuts, workshops, and more.
We have 79 vendors here. I'm hoping to see around 700 to 1,000 veterans come through our doors. Yeah, so it has grown. This is definitely the biggest year that we've seen.
along with one more unconventional program, Guitars for Vets. Melissa Johnson is the director of chapter development with Guitars for Vets. She says the program teaches beginning guitar to veterans dealing with mental health issues or physical disability.
We teach you what you want to know, how you best learn, at the pace you want to go. We tailor-make our lessons to the student that's sitting in front of us.
Thanks to donors, once completing the program, the veteran gets their own guitar along with everything they need.
And then once you complete 10 lessons, you're awarded a guitar, picks, tuners, capos, strap, gig bag, books, guitar polish, just a whole bunch of stuff.
She explains there are all kinds of healing properties that music provides.
Music is math and creative, so left brain and right brain. It helps bridge that gap between the two. It helps make more connections. It helps rebuild connections that were once damaged. The vibrations from the guitar, from the acoustic guitar pressed up against your body, that's soothing and healing as well. Practicing helps actually lubricate the joints and gives more dexterity to hands. I've had one student tell me that while she's practicing, her tinnitus actually dies down.
This program hopes to influence those who take part in it, the veterans, their families, and the instructors. With thousands of veterans in the region.
In a 75-mile radius, we have about 47,000 veterans that we serve in this area.
There isn't a better time to put music in the hands of those who fought for the country. In Kennewick, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
Can officially begin its lessons, they need a volunteer chapter coordinator. If you want to get involved in volunteering or if you're a vet thinking about joining, head to applevalleynewsnow.com to find out how you can do so. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, many people online could not stop talking about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight from Friday, but it was streaming issues during the big fight that had people talking. We go over those trending issues after the break.
Once, this table belonged to you. But when you decided to donate it to Goodwill, it transformed into their table, supporting before-school gatherings, cherished family dinners, and creative crafting sessions. Its impact stretches even beyond. Goodwill utilizes the proceeds from its sales to assist local individuals in overcoming employment hurdles, providing training and job placement services not only for individuals, but also for local businesses. And that's how one table can support the opportunity for everyone to create their own stories and memories. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Deck the halls with pies so jolly. This holiday season, Pie Sharks has the perfect sweet and savory mini pies to bring cheer to your table. We have lots of flavors to choose from, and right now our pies are bursting with festive flavors. Grab a dozen, share a smile, and make the holidays deliciously unique. Delivery and pickup orders available, or visit us at 110 South 4th Avenue in Pasco, where every pie is a little holiday surprise. Pie Sharks, take a bite.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Step into the Prosser House, where great food meets comfortable atmosphere. We invite you to relax in our cozy space. From classic dishes to chef-inspired creations, and now we're raising the bar, literally. With our newly renovated bar, we're serving up crafted cocktails, your favorite local brews, and award-winning wines. Plus, we're proud to announce that the Prosser House is your restaurant showdown champion. Special night out or just a break from cooking, experience the award-winning difference at the Prosser House.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive? Absolutely. There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now get $1,250 customer cash on Rogue Platinum or get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Texans, Cowboys, the battle for Texas. Monday Night Football at 5 tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, we're looking at how the box office fared this weekend.
Plus, issues for streaming services for one of the biggest fights of the year. Here's ABC's Chuck Sievertson with the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Amazon's Red One topped the North American movie box office, starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, earning $34.1 million in its debut, despite mixed reviews and a hefty $250 million budget. In second place, Venom: The Last Dance with $7.3 million. The best Christmas pageant ever in third place with $5.4 million. Netflix says 60 million households tuned in live for the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson boxing match. According to the website Down Detector, nearly 85,000 viewers logged problems with outages or streaming. Paul won by unanimous decision. Netflix says nearly 50 million households tuned in for the co-main event between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, in which Taylor kept her undisputed super lightweight championship with a disputed decision. Betty White's getting honored with a special U.S. Postal Service Forever stamp. The stamp of the much-beloved actor of TV's Golden Girls, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Hot in Cleveland, and many other shows will be available next year. White died in December 2021 near her 100th birthday. The Postal Service calls White a TV icon who shared her wit and warmth with viewers for 7 decades. The actor and comedian Owen Wilson of Wedding Crashers and Night at the Museum turns 56 today. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
All right, Josh just did a great impression of Owen Wilson. Let's hear it.
57 years old. Wow.
Wow, that was great. You're coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30. Missing and murdered Indigenous people has been a silent epidemic for years, and the families of victims have been struggling alone, not just with the aftermath of grief, but also having to navigate a complex criminal justice system. But we're now learning that government agencies are finally stepping up. Emily Goodell with that report is after the break, but first, let's check out your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new AirTag possibly coming from Apple. Reports say the second-generation AirTag could launch in mid-2025. The new version is expected to include improved location tracking, better range, and a more secure built-in speaker. Plus, it may work with Apple's Vision Pro headset. Next, a new drafts feature on WhatsApp. Now you can save unfinished messages and find them at the top of your chats marked draft. The feature is rolling out globally, along with new tools like custom lists and contact syncing. It's all part of WhatsApp's effort to keep users better organized. Finally, ESPN is testing an AI avatar called Fax, providing stats and analytics like the Football Power Index. It's designed to complement hosts and engage fans with data. The bot will join ESPN's Saturday college football show, SEC Nation. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Let me see my new granddog.
Say hi, Grandma.
You're feeding him Blue Buffalo, right?
No, we got Pure in one. It's all the same stuff.
Not really. Blue Life Protection Formula's got deboned chicken, chicken meal, brown rice, oatmeal, barley.
Well, Purina One has chicken, rice flour, corn gluten meal, whole grain corn, chicken byproduct meal.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Switch to Blue and feed your dog like family.
Want a next level clean? Swish with the Whoa of Listerine. It kills 99.9% of bad breath germs for 5 times more cleaning power than brushing and flossing alone. Get a next level clean with Listerine. Feel the Whoa.
James, you're a veteran and household chef and student. You're an Ander. National University supports the whole you so you can focus on what's right in front of you. National University, supporting the whole you.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, today is a first alert weather day. Can you tell us why?
Yes, it is because of the dangerous past travel that we'll have in particular for the mountains, but then we have more first alert weather days into Tuesday and Wednesday, and that would be because we could see some lower elevation snow, specifically in the Kittitas Valley. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures right now. You'll notice there are a bunch of missing gaps, there are a bunch of gaps in the data, missing data points. You can take my word for it that temperatures this morning mostly in the 20s and 30s. It is cold. It's even colder in the Tri-Cities and in the foothills of the Blue Mountains with some of those winds that are now gusting between 15 to 30 miles per hour. Visibility pretty good for lower elevations. We continue to track reductions in visibility up in the Cascades, which is what you would expect. So multiple reasons to take it slow over Snoqualmie Pass for this morning. We're seeing snow showers mostly above 1,500 feet this morning, mostly in the Cascades and in the Blue Mountains. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. We'll take it back to the lower elevations in the Tri-Cities. Mostly dry for today, partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Our highs are going to be stuck in the 40s, and then for tonight, overnight lows are going to drop down into the 20s and 30s. So for today, we'll have a seasonal day for the most part with highs in the 40s and 50s. Mostly dry in between the mountain ranges, but better chances of showers in the foothills and in the Cascades. I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. Also, I'll show you what this storm system is going to do to our rainfall deficits, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour with in-depth coverage, for years, missing and murdered Indigenous people has been a silent epidemic, with victims' families struggling alone to navigate a complex criminal justice system. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell reports that government agencies are finally stepping up.
Representatives of federal, state, and tribal governments gathered at the Yakama Nation Winter Lodge to outline the progress they've made in addressing the MMIP crisis, share resources, and let families know that they're no longer alone. Rosenda Strong went missing from the Yakama Reservation in the fall of 2018. Her body found in the summer of 2019. Her case only now making its way through federal court.
This is heavy. 7 people are responsible for my sister's disappearance or murder. They're all from here.
Sissy Strong Reyes has spent years fighting for justice for her sister and others like her, often doing it alone.
I'm sorry we weren't here 6 years ago, 5 years ago, but I think in part due to advocacy of MMIP families like yours, you now have all these new programs.
At the federal level, the Department of Justice has hired 5 coordinators and 5 assistant U.S. attorneys to handle cases of missing and murdered Indigenous people.
For the first time in the history of DOJ, there are 10 permanent personnel dedicated solely to addressing MMIP and MMIP-related issues.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs coordinating victim services and agents in its missing and murdered unit, helping tribal law enforcement on the ground. 21 case referrals in Washington state so far this year. Plus, families can get their missing loved one on the MMU website.
MMU can assist in offering reward incentives up to $5,000 for information leading to this.
At the state level, the Washington Attorney General's office has an MMIWP task force making policy recommendations. One result of that task force, an MMIWP cold case unit in the AG's office. Starting out with the Homicide Investigation Tracking System, or HITS, which shows 122 unsolved homicides statewide with an Indigenous person listed as the victim. 64 of them in Eastern Washington and 41 in Yakima County.
This is simply a starting point. We know that this is not an actual representation of the true number. This is just numbers that we have visibility on at this time.
Washington State Patrol making progress with its groundbreaking missing Indigenous person alert system. Out of 130 alerts, only 15 people are still missing. 5 were found dead.
But 110 were found. Sometimes they were reunited. Sometimes the situation didn't call for reunification, but it was a blessing that they were found.
Plus, filling one of 2 vacant tribal liaison positions after more than a year-long search.
I have so much to learn from you. I wish to listen and learn.
At the local level, the Yakama Nation has made new changes, establishing a tribal community response plan outlining their policies for responding to MMIP cases and listing services available for victims, including transportation assistance, help attending court hearings, providing case updates, and helping draft victim impact statements for court.
Just to help them find tools for healing, because it's something that's going to stay with you forever and something that you're going to carry forward for the rest of your life, and we just want to be that extra support.
Yakama Nation has also hired its first MMIP liaison to personally connect families to the resources they need.
I'm all for outreach, but me
it's working with one-on-ones, letting them know that I'm not their voice for them. I'm helping them raise their own voice, because only our people will know what they're going through if they express it themselves. They will feel it because it is so powerful.
According to Washington State Patrol, at least 40 indigenous people are missing out of Yakima County. We'll have that list on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. Making a difference now, each holiday season, Meals on Wheels sends out wish lists to its homebound seniors, and they're asking for the community's help in collecting these items for the seniors. So the list includes things like stamps and stationery, candy and cookies, also socks, slippers, gloves, hats, as well as other clothes. And gift cards are also a great idea. Stephen Davis, the director for the Mid-Columbia Meals on Wheels, says the program started as a small staff program, but in 2016, there was a group of volunteers who came together to help expand it.
They like to call themselves the elves, but we found a need where our homebound seniors were isolated, lonely, and during this holiday season, everybody should have the opportunity to know that there's people who care and have a network that supports them.
About 460 people have taken part so far, which they say is the most they've ever had. Items can be dropped off to their office at 1824 Fowler Street in Richland, and you can drop these off until December 2nd. Also at Meals on Wheels, a reminder about some of the services offered. Now, most know about the food delivery, where the name Meals on Wheels comes from, but did you know that there are also indoor dining experiences? Most dining centers in Benton and Franklin counties require a reservation 24 hours in advance, but there's no charge or income requirements. Everything is donation-based, and these centers aim to alleviate isolation and loneliness.
Here in the cafe, we have about 15 to 20 of them that are here every single day. And what's really cool is every once in a while a new face will show up and somebody decided to bring a friend or somebody new heard about the program. And then it's cool because they come in and they get to meet other people that are in similar situations as themselves, and then they make that connection and have that social interaction.
At the Central Campus on Fowler Street, there is also a breakfast service every Wednesday morning. Again, no reservations are needed, and there are almost 700 volunteers in the region that help keep this program running. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, as the weather gets colder, the roads become more dangerous, but knowing how to protect yourself when things get dire can make all the difference. Coming up, we go over some critical ways to keep yourself safe, and that's in just a few minutes.
Fly the Northwest with the ladies of WSU Crew, Tuesday at 6.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a rugged new Passport, Pilot with available all-wheel drive, and the powerful Ridgeline. So don't wait. Turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
All right, so my job here is the food and beverage executive chef. I've been here 10 years. Started off here as an entry-level cook. I was given the opportunity to step into the executive chef role, which is the position that I'm in. I've been in that position for about 6 years now, almost. What I do here, I handle not so much the day-to-day operations, but everything that goes into the menu planning, the SOPs for all of the cooks, recipes, ensuring all the recipes are all the same, the consistency, the vision of the food and beverage department as far as the aesthetics, what is it gonna look like, what does the food preparation look like. We have everything from catering, fast food, employee meals, which is a cafeteria style setting, and then obviously our bread and butter, what we do, a buffet here at Legends. What we like to do here is try to keep our team members happy, try to be versatile with them, try to be flexible, whatever needs that they may have. We try to accommodate. We do have childcare here on property, so if somebody needs to drop their kids off at childcare, that option's always there. You could come into our department with no experience at all, but we're gonna show you how to hold a knife, we're gonna show you how to cut vegetables, we're gonna show you how to cut meat, we're gonna show you how to use all the equipment. Is the comfort of knowing that I'm gonna have my consistent 40 hours a week. And that goes from everywhere from a dishwasher all the way up to my position. It's another benefit of working here at Legends. I like to think of it more as a career rather than a job.
Hit by a big truck,
It could be from bad air hoses in the brake system. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, and at my law firm, we have a special team that knows how trucks work and what goes wrong. We know how to prove it was a truck's fault. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the experience and knowledge it takes to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
He's one of the toughest players in the NFL. But then, when a cancer diagnosis shook his world, Dylan Horton showed everybody the meaning of true toughness.
Can you describe what those emotions were as you returned to play?
This morning, the emotional exclusive on GMA.
5 couples remain.
Who has what it takes to make it to the finale?
It's the semifinals on Dancing with the Stars.
Are you ready? Because I'm coming to get you. Get you, get you. You are amazing.
The Dancing with the Stars semifinals live Tuesday.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a tour of today's forecast. We're going to start off in Kittitas County. These high temperatures only up into the 30s and 40s. It's going to be a cold day in Kittitas Valley and Ellensburg, 43 degrees there. It's going to be even colder, at least it's going to feel even colder when you factor in some of the wind gusts gusting out of the west and northwest, upwards of 20 miles per hour. And again, snow levels staying right around 1,500 feet, so that's going to be fair game for the Kittitas Valley to see some snow. In the Yakima Valley, it's the snow levels aren't going to be low enough for that for today, but there will be a chance to see some flakes flying for tonight and into tomorrow morning. But for today, small chances of rain showers, high temperatures into the mid to upper 40s. The winds in the Yakima Valley light overall, but in the lower Columbia Basin, they'll be gusting out of the west and southwest upwards of 30 miles per hour. Also mostly dry, partly cloudy skies, and it will be cool to cold with air temperatures in the 50s, but the real feels are probably going to be down into the 40s with some of the wind gusts. And then in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, these temperatures in the 40s, but it's kind of going to be the same deal. Winds gusting out of the west and southwest upwards of 30 miles per hour, so it will feel colder. And then in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains like Meacham and Ukiah, these highs only getting up into the mid 30s. Also, we'll see some snow up in the Blue Mountains for today, specifically above 1,500 feet. Now let's talk about the big picture here in terms of the rainfall deficits and even some surpluses we're about to have in the wake of this storm system. So here's what we're expecting heading into the storm system. Here's what we're expecting in the wake of the storm system. You can see in the wake of this storm system, we're thinking that we'll at least have some subtle rainfall surpluses for the first time this season in the basin, but still running big-time deficits in the valleys, but these numbers should improve with more wet weather on the way. I'll tell you about that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, driving conditions can change quickly, but knowing how to protect yourself can make a big difference in surviving a crash, a fire, flood, or severe storm. Today's Consumer Reports reveal some essential ways to stay safe when things take a turn for the worse.
What started as a routine drive changed in the blink of an eye for Andrea Garnzars.
The bag to the car blew up on the steering wheel. There was an accident.
Andrea says a car slammed into hers from behind. Her car was wrecked and she was shaken.
I was just like in a state of shock.
The best way to protect yourself is to reduce the risk of a crash. Bad weather like fog, rain, snow, or ice can lead to a chain reaction crash.
When visibility is low, it's harder for drivers to see what's ahead. Cars also take longer to stop on wet or icy roads, so it's really important to slow down and leave space between you and other vehicles to help keep you safe.
Pay attention to drivers around you, especially those following too closely. In slippery conditions, ease off the gas to slow down instead of applying the brakes forcefully, which can cause skidding. There are other scary car situations where Consumer Reports says knowing what to do can make the difference between life and death. While less common than they were decades ago, almost 400 passenger vehicle fires still happen on average every day. If it happens to you, act fast.
Pulling over immediately is crucial if you smell smoke or see flames. Once stopped, shut off the car, get out, and move at least 100 feet away from the vehicle and call 911. Attempting to fight the fire on your own, especially without the appropriate extinguisher, can be a deadly mistake.
Consumer Reports also recommend staying away from the front and back of the car to avoid flying parts. It's safer to stay upwind to avoid breathing in harmful gases. And if you can, stay behind the guardrail or off the road in case another car hits the vehicle. Then there's flooding. Flooded roads are more dangerous than they look. Just 12 inches of water can sweep away a small car, and 2 feet of water can move larger vehicles. Even a small puddle can cause you to lose control. So it's important to stay cautious. Since it's often hard to gauge the depth of water, the best advice is to avoid driving through any standing water. Turn around and take a different route or stay home until the weather clears up. Besides the personal risk, floodwaters can ruin your engine and electronics, sometimes leaving your car beyond repair. As for Andrea Garnsars, she knows she was lucky.
Thankfully, nothing happened to my legs on top of it because of the bash into the front of the bus.
This is Jaima Crespo.
Now, these incidents can be costly, but the right insurance can protect you. Comprehensive coverage covers fires or floods, while collision coverage handles repairs after a crash. It's also important to have uninsured motorist coverage in case the other driver doesn't have enough insurance, and some states require it. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, 2,500 customers in Pasco can now experience the fastest internet speeds available in the nation, and that's right in their own homes. And more customers will be added to the list in the coming weeks. We go over how this is possible in your morning sprint. Plus more of your top stories, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert full weather forecast.
This week on Live, Richard Gere, Ted Danson, and
it's a real showstopper.
Cher. And next Live, Jeffrey Wright.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
Liberty Lawn and Saw Shop, your destination for outdoor power equipment. We offer a wide range of products from leading brands such as Exmark, Husqvarna, Echo, and Steel. Make your yard stand out with our range of professional-grade landscaping tools and equipment. We also provide a variety of services, including free pickup and delivery on deluxe services. Our team is committed to providing the best care for your outdoor equipment. Call us today or text us for faster service at 509-371-1477. Visit us in West Richland and at libertylawnandsawshop.com.
Loving the pizza, Tony's Big Cheese Pizza. Loving the pizza. I've been loving the pizza. Tony's Big Cheese Pizza. And Yakima's hometown.
Mom, let's order a large pepperoni pizza.
For Tony Big Cheese Pizza.
Good idea. I'll order it now. Tony's lets me order online or by phone.
When you want lunch or dinner the delicious, easy way, come to Yakima's Hometown Pizzeria.
We can't wait to see you at Tony's Big Cheese Pizza in the Safeway Plaza at 24th and Nob Hill.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' comp attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411, Bothwell and Hamill.
Dishwasher on the fritz. Laundry giving you fits. A water heater that quits. In a world without Culligan, hard water makes life harder. Get a Culligan softener, the world's best. Put your water worries to rest.
Texans Cowboys, Monday Night Football at 5 tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track these snow showers up in the Cascades and in the Blues, and elevations above 1,500 feet. And those snow levels are going to stay pretty consistent throughout the rest of today. So let's show you futurecast for the rest of today. We put this into motion. More scattered showers. The best coverage is going to continue to be not only in the mountains, but also in the foothills. But for the valleys, for the basin, we should keep it mostly dry for today. Then watch what happens into the late evening. We start to get more snow showers, not only in the Cascades, but some of these start to trickle down into the valleys at this point. And by 8 in the morning, yeah, we could have a few snow flurries mixing in portions of the basin, also in the foothills, but the wettest of the wet weather for tomorrow is going to hold off until the evening. At this point, 5 p.m. snow levels around 1,500 feet, so it still could be snowing specifically in the Kittitas Valley at this point, but snow levels will be raising up after that, and we'll have more to say about that in just a second. But first, here's some of the water totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. Up to 1 inch in the Cascades, a 1/2 inch in the Blue Mountains, and even maybe a 1/2 inch for the valleys. That would be quite something, between 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch for the foothills and for the basin. Snow levels, again, pretty consistently around 1,500 feet for today, down to 500 feet for tomorrow morning, back up to 1,500 feet for the arrival of that next big blast of rain and snow, but then snow levels going up to around 2,500 feet, 2,500 to 3,000 feet for Wednesday. Okay, here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. US 2 and I-90, 12 to 18 inches. US 12, 24 to 30 inches. My goodness. The Yakima Valley, less than 1 inch. US 97, 6 to 12 inches. I-84 at Cabbage Hill, 3 to 4 inches. And Oregon 204 at Tollgate, 8 to 12 inches. So very dangerous travel, but of course specifically up in the Cascades. We'll have a little bit more in the way of rainfall and snowfall for Wednesday. Not much, though. It's kind of going to be the last gasp of this storm system, but then we have more in a Thursday and Friday, and then in a Saturday and Sunday. So you can see we're just kind of locked into this damp and cool pattern, just the way it should be around this time of the year. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A flurry is possible for Tuesday morning, then more just cold rain likely for Wednesday through Saturday. In Yakima, snowfall less than 1 inch is possible for tomorrow morning, but just rain for Wednesday through Saturday. And then in Ellensburg, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible over the next 48 hours, just rainfall for Wednesday and beyond. In Hermiston, maybe a flake or two for tomorrow morning, then cold rain for the rest of the week. And then for Walla Walla, maybe some snow mixing in tomorrow morning, but more cold, wet weather slated for the rest of this week.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. Here are the top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. First up, police have identified a man who was shot to death on Saturday. Authorities say 36-year-old Michael Perkins of Richland died after being shot several times in the Uptown Shopping Center. RPD responded to the scene just after 4 a.m. and found the man, and authorities say witnesses reported Perkins got into a fight with another man, and that man pulled out a gun and shot him several times. The investigation is ongoing. Ziply Fiber has begun construction of its ultra-high-speed 100% fiber optic network in Pasco. With this, Pasco will have the fastest internet speeds, and it became available over the weekend to the first 2,500 addresses. Officials say it will serve more than 4,500 customers when construction is complete in the coming weeks. The 11th Avenue Ballet School and Yakima School of Ballet is hosting its auditions for the Nutcracker. Auditions are for local children and are being held today and tomorrow. Young dancers ages 6 to 17 are invited to audition. The Pasco School District is hosting a bus driver and substitute paraeducator event today. It'll be held in the Booth Building Boardroom at 1215 West Lewis Street in Pasco. The event starts at 4 p.m. and goes on until 7 p.m. There will be on-the-spot interviews, and you will have the opportunity to apply immediately. And stay with Apple Valley News Now for coverage of the storm. Make sure you download our app and sign up for alerts that get sent right to your phone. We also have webcams showing the current conditions. Again, it's all at applevalleynewsnow.com. Now to your national headlines this morning. New Orleans police are investigating 2 shootings that left 2 people dead and 9 people wounded. This happened Sunday afternoon during a second line parade. Investigators say the first shooting involved someone in a car firing into the crowd, wounding 8 people. About 45 minutes later, another shooting where the gunfire hit several people and 2 people died. Police are trying to determine if the two shootings are related. President Biden is authorizing powerful U.S. long-range weapons for Ukraine to fire inside Russia. The move comes as Russia has deployed nearly 50,000 troops to Kursk. Thousands of North Korean troops have deployed to Kursk as part of the offensive. The administration is concerned the entry of North Korea troops into the conflict could lead to a dangerous new phase in the war. Now to your business news. Barnes & Noble is expanding, saying it plans to open 60 new stores in 2025. The company is bucking a recent trend, and many retailers, especially ones with brick-and-mortar stores, have struggled to compete with online shopping. Analysts say the company revamped its business model by prioritizing customer preferences in communities over a one-size-fits-all approach. The U.S. Postal Service will honor the late, great Betty White with the postal stamp next year, which was designed by USPS's art director. The company announced it will roll out many new stamps in 2025, with some honoring nature, history, and cultural icons like Betty White. Now to your health headlines. The CDC is investigating an outbreak of E. coli linked to tainted carrots. The outbreak has caused one death and sickened dozens of other people in 18 states. Investigators traced the organic carrots to Grimway Farms, a carrot producer in Bakersfield, California. And a new study finds prolonged standing may not be as healthy as previously thought. While prolonged sitting has long been associated with obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases, researchers found that standing did not reduce the risk and increased a person's risk of circulatory problems. Researchers say the key to staying healthy is moving and interrupting long stretches of sitting or standing. All right, check this out. A Harry Potter prop has sold for a record amount at an auction.
The Marauders maps.
Marauders.
I didn't watch Harry Potter. Sold for just under $300,000 at Prop Store's Entertainment Memorabilia live auction. That sets a new record for the most expensive prop from the Harry Potter movie sold at auction.
The iconic map was owned by David Holmes, Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double in the Harry Potter films, and Holmes sustained a severe injury while making one of the movies and is now paralyzed. And there is a great documentary about him on HBO if you want to check out more of his story.
And the proceeds will go towards his mobility equipment and personal care.
Josh, I can't believe you never watched Harry Potter. I just learned this right now.
I wasn't allowed to growing up. It was one of those situations.
I did too, but then my dad brought it home, and I'm like, okay, well, I had one of those maps, like the fake one, obviously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I loved it.
Very cool.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, Thanksgiving is next week, and many people will be traveling, whether it be by road or by air. And coming up in your 6 o'clock hour, we have what experts are saying you should be prepared for when it comes to the busy travel season.
And we have first alert weather days, plural, over the next few days. I'll tell you why, coming up at 6.